We got a lot of really cool new features on this Fenix UC35 version 2.0. Well, hey folks, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another episode here at Gideon's Tactical. I'm your host, Aaron, and today we're going to look at a high-powered tactical, kind of heavy-duty flashlight from Fenix. Now, I like Fenix because I've been using their products literally before I started this channel, so almost a decade now, and I've always been really happy with their levels of performance to value to accessibility. You can pick up a lot of their stuff at local sporting goods stores and locations like that, as well as online. Now, the UC35 version 2.0 has some newer tweaks to the older version. I've had a chance to mess around with this thing and have gotten a really good feel for what it can do, some things that I really like about this design and these options, and some things that I would have liked to see just tweaked a little bit different. So let's break it down today and show you what this flashlight can do when you're in the market for a heavy-duty, high-powered flashlight. Now, before we break down all the details, I'll just give you some basic things that I noticed right out of the gate that are pretty sick. First off, we have an external charger here for micro USB that is water resistant. It's not watertight. No flashlight really is. It's really hard to find one of those except for like scuba diving. But this is definitely set up, to fight against, submersion and that type of thing. And then you can just plug it right in, after a day at work, recharge it, and you're good to go. Because it takes two different types of batteries. It'll either take the CR123, two of those, or it'll take one of the, I believe it's 18600, I'll annotate it in, and that's the one that you can recharge with, and it comes with the battery. That's a big plus. Some flashlights, they either don't come with the batteries, or they just come with the CR123s, which are fine, and at least you get, some aspects to what the light can do, but usually the 18600 batteries you have to buy separately, or it's a lot more expensive, and you usually will get the most power out of that version of the battery. So it comes with that ready to be set up, ready to be plugged in the wall and charged up when it dies, or again, you can just swap them in and out. And I like that aspect with these type of heavier duty, high output flashlights, is that they give you options now. And so I can be using a rechargeable 1860 battery, and if that were to die on me, I can have a spare set either of another one of that type of battery, or I can have a spare set of the CR123 and throw those in there and have it in my EC bag or my tactical kit or whatever I'm doing, my my range bag, and throw them right in there in case this was to die on me in an unexpected way. So it's nice that if the battery dies, I have secondary options and two different types to work with. Now, another thing that's really cool is the secondary switch. Now, a lot of tactical lights are having that now. There's the secondary switch that's offered to you. You have your tail switch, and then this kind of like goes through all the different options. But when you turn the light on, I don't know if you're going to see it in the light today. Maybe I can get it for you there. There is a little green light in here, so it gives you 3 different levels or 4 different levels to let you know how much juice is left in the flashlight. That's really cool. I think it's like green if it's good to go. I think it is red if it's getting low, and blinking red if it's almost about to die. So it gives you a little extra bonus alert there, so you're not just guessing on when you need to swap out batteries, particularly if you're going on a trip where you may not be around batteries for that long a period of time, and you need to know, do I need to bring spares, do I not? It's just an added little bonus that I really like. So I'll hit some of the basic illumination aspects for you. Is that when you hit the light the first time, boom, that's going to turn it on, and it's going to turn it on to whatever the last setting was always. That's cool. So it's never like this rotating, oh, it's this setting, or oh, it's this setting, or oh, and you're having a cycle. If you have it on high when you turned it on, and then you turn it back off, when you hit it on again, it's gonna be on high. If it was on low, it's gonna be on low again. I like that aspect. It has that type of memory to it. And then you change your lumen output by this upper bronze button up here. So you rotate through whichever one that you need. So I like that a lot. And the features are going to be, just to kind of show you here, I am gonna hit strobe right now, so get ready. Little heads up. It has 2 different strobe modes. I'll just hit that. It's very interesting when you hold it, and now I'm just letting go of it, and it'll go. It has about 5 seconds of this burst, and then 5 seconds of this blinking, and it rotates back and forth. I've never seen another light like that. It's interesting. It's not good or bad for me. So I'm going to read off to you, I have my iPad right down here, the different spec options, and we'll annotate in some footage just so you can kind of get a perspective instead of me trying to remember it all offhand. So it's on high right now. That's going to be 1,000 lumen output for 2 hours and 15 minutes for a distance of 260 meters. Really good throw, really good reach. Was really happy with that aspect to it. Then if you hit the button again, you're going to go to high mode. It'll cycle down to low, but high mode is 350 lumens for 4 hours and 10 minutes at 160 meters. So it's got a really good punch and throw no matter what level you're really doing. It's on the higher end of distances. I have other flashlights that are 1,000 lumens, but they're only like 1,000 lumens at 150 yards instead of, you know, at 260. So I can tell that there's a longevity and distance factor that this Fenix has that not all other 1,000 lumen flashlights will have. Then we go to medium mode. This is 150 lumens for 10 hours, 40 minutes at 100 meters, basically 98 meters. And then we're looking at low, which is 50 lumens for 28 hours and 10 minutes at 64 meters. And then we have like a moonlight mode, which is 1 lumen for 800 hours at 10 meters. And then strobe is 1,000 lumens that we saw earlier. It doesn't give me a battery lifetime on that. Really nice. Now that is with the higher 18600 battery, so again it may be less with the 2 CRs in there. Something to consider, something to think about. So some other aspects of the 2.0 version is that they've shortened it slightly, 10 millimeters, just to make it a little bit easier to carry in your pocket. They've added 60 lumens to it and some extra distance over the original version. So things to think about, options that they have updated if you already own the original version. Some things that I really like about it as well is that it's got that really good activation switch back here. Really snappy. It's going to come with a spare if it was ever to, you know, get torn out on you. Good water resistance, and the lighting feature, as I said, the pocket clip is going to be just a one-directional. And you're going to have about an inch and a half sticking up out of your pocket. I would have liked to see that either just a little higher so you could carry it a little deep right, a little bit deeper, you know, possibly like a double loop so you could attach it to different things if you, I mean, it would be too heavy for a hat, but, you know, things just to kind of different options there. Good lens protection, you know, so if you drop it on the lens, it's not going to affect it. Good body grip and body textile feel to it. It is going to come with one of those little cheap bogus little nylon sheaths you can carry on your belt. If you were going to actually belt carry it, I would probably upgrade, you know, and get something better like most, you know, pocket flashlights out there. Then you are going to get your little lanyard. I would say the only two critiques with the design overall for me is that the button is not completely recessed. So you can't stand it up tail end. It's going to be, even when you depress it, the button is going to be slightly higher than the body. Like you can just depress it and it'll turn on. So I would have liked to see the button just slightly recessed below this frame piece so you could stand it up if need be, or just to protect, you know, the button a little bit more and it wouldn't accidentally get, I mean, you're going to have to really put some pressure on it and you can't snap it without a lot of pressure, but, you know, you could just have something resting on it for 5 minutes and you know, that may get in there, that if it had the lip a little bit above, you could alleviate some of that. Then the only other aspect that I'm a little about is that you have to use the copper center button and hold that down to get the strobe on. And you can't just press it to get it on. You have to turn the light on and then press it. So like the fastest I could do that would be click like that. I mean, you know, there's some time there that I'm not a super big fan about, and it's kind of odd to me. I would like to have had it like some other flashlights we've tested out where you could click this on and it would be good, and then you could like hold it down and then it would go into strobe mode. I think that would have been made a little bit more sense. So I would say that this is a little bit more practical than tactical. There are other lights like the Olight Warrior series that would be a little bit more tactical because you can hit that strobe feature right away if that's something that's of value to you. Maybe it's not. Maybe you're like, dude, I don't need that. That's totally not a big deal. Now, I think that the light makes up for it with the secondary button here that gives me battery life identification. That is huge. I love that, particularly in this style of battery, so I'm not constantly wondering, do I need to replace these? And then, you know, you go out there, you need it. And this would definitely be something that possibly law enforcement, military, you know, stuff like that, first responders would want to use. And for them to be able to wake up in the morning, test it, go, okay, I'm good to go, or go, wow, this is on low, I need to get a separate pair of batteries or replace. I just think that that's a really good bonus that most other tactical lights like this are not really offering. So I dig that aspect a lot, and I think that's a big selling point to the design. So really cool, certain aspects of it. It's going to go for $90. Amazon Blade HQ, links below. So, you know, it's almost a $100 flashlight. You need to determine whether or not it is the right synchronization and options for you. Maybe the battery thing is not that big a deal, like the identification with the button. Great, and you're like, I need strobe feature at the ready. Okay, then that's not the flashlight for you. If you're like, I absolutely need battery identification and strobe I never use, awesome. Then this is probably better than a lot of other flashlights out there around the $100 to $90 price point. So, food for thought, things to think about. That's what I always want to do here at the channel, is give you guys those options. So thank you. If you do see value in this flashlight or some other ones, and I'll have a few different options that are similar to this in the links below, use those hyperlinks. Helps me create content just like this. Now, this particular light was sent to me by Fenix, so I could show you guys what it can do and what it can't do, like the strobe feature and some of those other things that we've discussed today, so that you can make that wise choice. Is this the right flashlight for you? I want to give you the data so then you can make the wise decision on how to spend your hard-earned money, so that regardless if it's the Fenix UC35 version 2 or something else completely different, you're happy with the purchase and you know it's going to do what you want it to do. But Fenix has always been a go-to for me for years, and I've always liked their quality and their performance to value, and this has a lot going for it for a lot of the things that we've talked about today. And it has a couple hangups like we've talked about today. So thank you guys. Check us out on all the relevant social media. That's a great way to see what's up and coming, projects I'm working on, different aspects to the channel. Instagram, Facebook is another great way to follow. We're throwing up stuff on there as well every single week. And finally, guys, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.